We're gonna copy this, save it, go here, and make window equals null. But you can see this was equal to this, so we are going to copy this as well and paste it here. So anytime you see declaration, it goes here. And then if you want to set it up, you do it here. Okay. Then we have a check, so oops. We're gonna copy the check and still put it in the constructor. For now, we're just gonna stick everything in main, and then we'll create SDL class and get rid of any SDL stuff and make this like with one line as well. So now we have window ready. Now we need to create renderer. So we're gonna copy this renderer and go to .h file. That. Then obviously we're gonna go back here. Oh, we can't return. Well, for now we can just do this. Technically we can actually make it quit equals true. So quit the game. Because this basically quits. Used to quit at least. Okay. So now renderer equals null. Gonna go back to first RPG. We can copy this and paste it here. Now our constructor. And now we're gonna create an event. So we're gonna copy this event and we're gonna paste it here. So we have another variable. But now we need to set this up again. So we can just copy this. Go to the CPP file and paste this. Keep in mind constructor only runs once, so it's like initialize function. We can think of it that way. Now we're gonna create two textures. So we can create grass texture. And we make it equals to null. Here. We also make it equal. We loaded the grass texture here. It's out of just moving code around basically. I want to start doing classes as soon as possible because this will get really hard to change into classes and much more confusing. And I believe it is already a little bit confusing. But basically we're sticking anything that will run once into the constructor. Anything loop-wise will be inside this function. So we have grass. Now we have rectangle for the grass. I could make it simpler and already make another two classes and stick everything in them, but I believe it will be really hard to understand if I would do that, so for now I'm just gonna do it that way. Even though it's a little bit longer. Well, not longer, but less. I believe this is less confusing. Or at least will be less confusing to understand. Save Bob. Make it equal to null. Inside here. We check Bob if it's null. So you can see we paste everything to constructor, not in any other functions. Don't paste it in the constructor. You can tell if it's the constructor by this squiggly line. Okay. But obviously rect has to be defined inside here. And now we're at loop. Simply you just copy the whole loop and paste it here. And I believe everything should work because you already defined everything in here. Okay, so we have the while and everything will run here. Anything pointer, destroying, related, deleting goes into the constructor. So we have the constructor here, and then we paste it here. The constructor runs when the class is destroyed, so it will run this. Okay, so now we have our main class. As you can see, the code will be the final code of this tutorial will be in description. So now we will try to run this class here. So we can just get rid of all this code. Besides return 0. Okay, so now we're gonna add this main to our main class to this main function. Not a very good name, is it? Include, and then you're gonna do this. You simply type main. You can see it pops up, and you can see where it is. So this is our main. So now we contain all of this. Now let's create a main by, you can simply do cmain, because we named cmain. As you can see, it's called cmain, but the file's main. Cmain main. Actually, let's call it cmain. Lowercase. Yeah, that'll do. So we created this class. So think of this as integer. Oh, and we called it cmain. But instead of this is being a full number, this contains all of those variables and those functions. Now we can actually do cmain dot, and we can access all those stuff. But you can see there is a little lock next to, for example, Bob image, Bob rect, all of these. That means they are made private, so we can't access them. It will give us an error if we access them. Also, blue means it's a variable, and purple, pinkish means that it's a function. So you can see you can access this destructor and game loop function. But you can see we can't access the constructor because it's being accessed as we create this. It runs constructor. So when this is created, it will actually run on this line. It will actually run all of this. Then we can do cmain.gameloop, and I think that's it. That's all we need to do now. And it will run this function, which will be stuck forever in this until quit, or we can click exit button. As you can see, we made this 2 lines. Our main function is 2 lines of code now, thanks to classes. So what we have in our class is all those variables. Then we have a while loop, which runs here, the game loop function, destructor, and our constructor. As you can see, our constructor is now confusing because all of this. So we're gonna split this into classes now. Also, classes, because now we're kind of using it for more organizing instead of the way they were intended to use, which is create plenty of objects, like, for example, we can have class of enemies, and we have different types of enemies and stuff like this. Okay, now we'll create SDL class. Don't worry if you don't understand all of this perfectly fine. It will, because this doesn't. Don't worry if you don't understand this perfectly fine. It's just a matter of practice until you understand this. Okay, so now we're gonna create C SDL underscore setup. To do like setup is not really a good name for it, but I can't think of any better ones at the moment. So let's go for this. So as you can see, it created another two files, header file and CP file. Now what we're gonna do is move window creation, render, and main. Anything to do with those three. Actually, we can use quit, it will stay. So we're gonna use those. We will cut all of this and we'll paste inside the constructor. Now we're getting errors because window is undefined since we're not defining it here.